Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
Dee Warner's family isn't giving up on their mission for justice, even after charges were dropped against one of the suspects. Warner went missing in 2021. It wasn't until last summer that her body was found on a property in Lenawee County. Her remains were stuffed into a chemical storage tank. Her husband, Dale Warner, faces charges for her murder. Her stepson, Jaron Warner, had been facing accessory charges until yesterday. Our Jacqueline Francis spoke to Dee's brother, who's reacting to what he calls disappointing news.
Dale and Jaron Warner were both charged in connection to Dee's death. Dale, her husband, is charged with murder. Her stepson, Jaron, was charged with accessory to murder and tampering with evidence. Jaron's charges were thrown out, and now it's just Dale's case that's moving forward.
It's obviously disappointing, okay? But as you followed this case for quite a while, we've had several roadblocks.
Dee Warner's brother, Greg, talking with us about the latest development in the case. Dee's stepson, Jaron Warner, who was charged with accessory to murder and tampering with evidence, now off the hook, at least for now. The prosecutor dropping the charges Tuesday.
It's challenging. It's particularly when there's setbacks.
Jaron's attorneys reacting to the dropped charges in a statement saying in part, quote, "Generally speaking, we welcome dismissals, but this one leaves a sour taste. Jaron Warner should have never been charged in the first place. He committed no crime." Dee's husband, Dale, is behind bars awaiting his murder trial, while his son, Jaron, is at home living next door to the rest of Dee's family. What's it like to have to live next door?
Well, it's uncomfortable. And obviously we have resentment for that. And my sister certainly would have resentment for that.
All these years later, what helps keep them going is the community's love and support for Dee.
It gives you that extra strength to carry on. Yep, it's very important.
There's been talk that the charges could be refiled against Jaron. There's been no clear explanation of why they were dropped in the first place. We have reached out to the county prosecutor to see what's next, and we are waiting to hear back. Reporting live tonight, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Okay, Jacqueline, thank you. In more news tonight, the lodge is back open after being closed for hours due to a shooting. This all happened around 2:30 today near the lodge and possibly 7 Mile. When police got there, they found a 64-year-old man with a gunshot wound. He was rushed to the hospital and is reportedly alert and conscious. Sky 4 was flying overhead and saw the man's vehicle riddled with bullet holes. Right now, police don't have a motive for the shooting or a description of the suspect's car. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. A Westland mother and father will spend the next year behind bars for the accidental shooting of their young child. Timothy Gravel and Heather LeBlanc were both sentenced today for safe storage violations related to the November 2024 shooting. According to police, their 5-year-old child had access to an unsecured gun and shot himself. He later died. Both also received 5 years probation. A man is in federal custody tonight after being accused of plotting to conduct a mass shooting at a Warren military base. Federal agents say 19-year-old Amar Saeed planned to do the attack at the TACOM base. According to court documents, he trained and armed 2 undercover FBI agents to take part in the attack. He also allegedly flew his drone over the base command to map out the attack. Saeed served in the Michigan Army National Guard. If convicted, he faces up to 40 years in prison. The Michigan Court of Claims has ruled the mandatory 24-hour waiting period to get an abortion is unconstitutional. The law dictated providers couldn't perform the procedure until at least 24 hours after the patient provides written consent. Abortion rights advocates are praising the ruling, while Right to Life supporters say it puts women at risk.
By removing the standardized informed consent, we're really keeping women in the dark about abortion procedures, about possible complications and alternatives to abortion. And by eliminating that 1-day waiting period, we're not giving women adequate time to digest all of that information prior to making this really big decision.
Michigan is a beacon of hope for people who care about reproductive freedom. 8 out of 10 Americans agree with it. folks, 57% of Michiganders voted for it in 2022. So we want to make sure that those protections for folks are in place and that this is a safe haven for people, that they have the right to reproductive freedom here in Michigan.
The ruling also overturned a regulation that required abortion providers to show a fetal development chart and information about alternatives to patients. 3 Center Line High School students are facing charges involving gun crimes. The Macomb County Prosecutor's Office is giving few details, but we know they've charged one student with carrying a concealed weapon, and all 3 are charged with lying to a peace officer, among other crimes. All 3 are expected in court later this month. We've reached out to Center Line High School for more on what this means for the future of those 3 students. Moving to a police chase caught on camera from Howell, showing a man running from police on a motorcycle. Started this morning when Livingston County Sheriff's deputies spotted a motorcycle speeding on Grand River Avenue. They attempted a traffic stop, but the motorcyclist sped off, reaching speeds of 100 miles per hour. The chase came to an end at the Glens at Rolling Ridge apartment complex. The driver, a 41-year-old man from Howell, is now behind bars. The Michigan House approved a package of bills this afternoon developed in response to the 2021 Oxford school shooting. The bills will ensure school districts regularly update their emergency response plans, conduct thorough safety drills for students, and provide standard safety training for school resource officers, teachers, and other school staff. Intermediate school districts would be required to have an emergency and safety manager and a mental health coordinator. The bills will now head to the state Senate. Detroit Mayor and candidate for Michigan Governor Mike Duggan sat down with our Jason Colthorpe for a one-on-one interview you'll see Sunday morning on Flashpoint. Here's an excerpt where he shared why he's running as an independent instead of a Democrat.
We had a day when I stood up with the Republican Speaker Matt Hall for more funding for cops and got attacked by Curtis Hertel, the Democratic Party chair, for being with that evil Matt Hall. The next day, Gretchen Whitmer is standing up next to Matt Hall in the Oval Office with Donald Trump. And all of a sudden, Democrats trying to figure out, well, what do we do? And you watch what Gretchen Whitmer has done to save Selfridge and the thousands of jobs at stake, and she's been under attack from the Democrats. How dare you work with the president to save jobs in Macomb County? And this is the kind of nonsense I think most people are tired of.
And you can watch more of Jason's interview with Mayor Duggan coming up Sunday morning on Flashpoint right here on Local 4. One of our Local 4 family members just received a huge honor from the Society of Professional Journalists. Our former anchor, Devin Scillian, was awarded a Lifetime Achievement Award tonight. I was in the crowd as my longtime co-anchor was recognized, and it was really such a special moment. Devin left the station, of course, back in December after nearly 30 years. During his time in Detroit, he covered so many stories that really made a difference in people's lives. He acted as a true symbol of trust and professionalism in our newsroom and in this community. During his remarks, Devin shared a message for aspiring journalists.
Journalism, yes, it is a business. It is the only business mentioned by name in the Constitution. It is a vital part of a functioning democracy. Information is the most precious resource in the world. You can have all of the petroleum, the gold, the silver, the platinum, the diamonds, if I can have all the information. And as journalists, we are guardians of that information.
I think I speak for everyone here at Local 4 in saying we are so proud of Devin and his accomplishments. Kim, I know you worked with Devin for years. You were at tonight's event. It was special.
It was really special, but interesting that it's a Lifetime Achievement Award because I don't think Devin's even cracked the surface of what he's going to achieve in this lifetime, right? I mean, he's achieved so much so far, but I know he has so much more that he's working on and doing, and he did not retire, folks.
I know, he's still
he did not.
busy.
He hates that word,
Exactly.
and rightfully so, but it was great to see him. We're family here. That's what we do.
Exactly, yeah. Well, moving to a story I know Devin and all the other Lions fans will love to hear. Single game tickets for the Lions 2025 season now on sale. The Lions have one of the hardest schedules in the league, so they'll have a good handful of primetime games. The home opener will be against division rivals and their ex-offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson, who's now leading the Chicago Bears. Hobie will have a full breakdown of the schedule, which was released just hours ago. He'll have that coming up in sports.